What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another AEW review. And this is a very exciting episode of AEW. Maybe the most exciting episode of AEW ever. A lot of things happened. Like a lot of things happened. So we'll just crack into it. And the show opened with the big tag team battle royal. Standard. You go over the top, both feet hit the floor, you're out. But both members of the team need to be eliminated for it to happen. Now, I wrote down the order of every elimination on my notes. So I'm just going to go through it here. Instead of little cliff notes for this, I'll just sort of go through everyone that was there. Off the top of my head, I'm trying to think of every team that was in it. Top Flight, all three Inner Circle. So half of the spots were taken up by the Dark Order in the Inner Circle. So you had Sammy Hagar, Proud and Powerful, Jericho and MJF, Silver and Reynolds, and Uno and Grayson. Then you had the Acclaimed, who cut off Jericho and MJF's entrance, the Young Bucks, Top Flight, Private Party, and Lucha Boy and Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. So that was all the teams that were in there. And let's just go through elimination by elimination. The first man out was Dante Martin. Soon after he went out, Silver and Jake Hager were brawling on the apron, and I believe Grayson and Reynolds came over. Or no, Reynolds went out and then Grayson and Uno must have ran over to save Silver. Sorry, Hager and Reynolds are on the apron, and then Reynolds goes out, and then Hager is eliminated by Uno and Silver. Matt Jackson is eliminated by a back body drop to the stage by Santana. Bowens gets eliminated by MJF and Jericho. Luchasaurus then just starts going wild and chokeslamming everyone at one point. Hits a sort of chokeslam where whoever's taking it flips out and lands on their partner. I'm pretty sure it was the partner they landed on, but he looked absolutely incredible. Sorry, that's it. Grayson was chokeslammed with the flip onto Bowens of the Acclaimed, and it was awesome. But then Luchasaurus was eliminated immediately after that by Evil Uno and John Silver. MJF then eliminates Uno and Silver. MJF eliminates Uno after him and Silver take out Nick Jackson with some cool moves. Darius stops Silly String by slapping Isaiah Cassidy's hands, or Marquand's hands, and he falls off to the outside. Silver hits a double Northern Lights suplex on Proud and Powerful, but is shortly eliminated after that, I think by MJF, I'm not sure. Sorry, he was eliminated by Proud and Powerful shortly after. Nick Jackson eliminates both of Proud and Powerful. Then the Good Brothers show up to distract Isaiah Cassidy, and Nick Jackson also kind of gets distracted by them, but as Cassidy runs at Nick, he low bridges, Cassidy goes out, and the Good Brothers have, played a part in that elimination. MJF then eliminated Nick, who was distracted by the Good Brothers, and the Good Brothers then just started jumping Isaiah Cassidy on the outside. I believe this leaves us with 6 people left, and it was on one side, the Inner Circle, Sammy Guevara, MJF and Chris Jericho, and on the other side it was Darius Martin, Jungle Boy, and Max Bowens, or Anthony Bowens. So, Bowens kind of fell in with or maybe it was Caster, it was Caster. He sort of fell in with the faces, but not really, it was weird, but the battle lines were drawn and they all went at it. At one point, Sammy gets right up in MJF's face and they sort of have to go back and forth, but Caster jumps in the middle, grabs MJF's arms, and Sammy goes to super kick him. MJF ducks, Caster gets hit and eliminated, and MJF high fives like it was always part of the plan. Then Jericho, Darius Martin has his feet on Sammy Guevara's shoulder, or Sammy has his feet on Darius' shoulders, and then Jericho tips out Darius, taking MJF with him. Sorry, Sammy goes out, but Darius hangs on. I've butchered that. Darius does hang on, and MJF has also been chucked out as well. So the final two for a little mini match was Darius Martin and Chris Jericho, and it was amazing, really, really cool back and forth. It was amazing to see Darius Martin and then Chris Jericho. One point out for a springboard though, Judas Effect off the apron onto the floor, and Jericho and MJF are now the All Elite Wrestling Tag Team Championship #1 contenders. We had a vignette for Jade Cargill just lifting loads of weights, and she looks awesome. So I'm excited to see her debut, because I'm excited to see her wrestle. Tony Schiavone is interviewing Darby and Sting in the ring, but before anything can be said, Team Taz just cut them off. The 5 of them are stood outside. Ricky Starks is in another pattern shirt. I think it's a leopard print shirt this time. Hook is just hanging out with his FTW hat on. Hobbs had like a nice jumper on. And Brian Cage is just in a pair of joggies with no shirt, just in the parking lot. Massive. And Taz says that they weren't allowed in the building after jumping the merch guys next week, but they go back and forth. Ricky then at one point says, Sting doesn't scare me. When I look in that man's eyes, I don't see the icon, I just see an old man. And then Sting says, how about next week? I think he said they were going to get involved in Darby's match with Janela for the TNT Championship next week, and Sting threatened Ricky Starks. I'm very tired. I'm recording this later than usual. I've had a lot to do today, so I'm a wee bit tired. I'm a tired boy. So sorry if I trip over my words quite a lot in this episode, because a lot happened as well. Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa finally had the match to end their feud next, and oh my god, it was really, really, really good. Both women looked absolutely incredible. The pair worked back and forth really well. It was a brawl to the outside, Britt just being the nasty heel. In the middle of the match, she hits like a rolling neck breaker for 2, grabs Thunder Rosa to the outside, goes to hit it again on the stage that she did before. Thunder Rosa gets out, picks her up, Death Valley driver on the stage. Later on, Britt hit a curb stomp and then hit back and rolled through it like a crucifix, and Thunder Rosa kicked out because she was already sort of had both the arms, was able to go for lockjaw. And Thunder Rosa, there was a lot of rolling around, a lot of counters. Then at one point, I think she had lockjaw in again. I think Thunder Rosa had a submission in. And Reba got in the ring. I don't know, there was a submission locked in, the ref was distracted, Reba got in the ring and pulled the turnbuckle off the middle rope, the turnbuckle pad off the middle one. Then they sort of brawl a little bit more, Britt gets thrown into it, literally hits her lower back, looks like, as a man who's got a bad back. That looked worse than the finish. Britt sort of grabs Thunder Rosa, hits like a lethal combination, like the sort of STO, fallback, sort of flatliner, into the post, and then locked in lockjaw whilst Thunder Rosa was unconscious for the win. And a very, very, very good match. I'm excited for what both of these women do next. I would like to see, obviously Britt Baker's probably going to win the tournament. And Maki Ito has been announced for AEW. I love Maki Ito. And it's exciting. It's really exciting. Britt's probably going to go on to win that and challenge Hikaru Shida. And that's going to be great. Before the next match, we have a video from last week with Tony Schiavone talking to Matt Hardy and Hangman Page. And, they sort of talking. Hangman goes, look, you offer me a place to dress. I don't want to sign one of your current contracts. I don't want to be in a team. I just came here to dress. And then Matt Hardy goes, look, I know you care a lot about the Dark Order boys. And last week, 2 weeks ago, they ruined Brody Jr.'s birthday. So how about me and you, we take on Chaos Project next week. So maybe, the Dark Order will forgive you. And he goes, yeah, okay, cool. And then they have a match against Chaos Project, and a fun little match that was won fairly quickly with a big old buckshot lariat on Serpentico. Right choice, obviously. But after Hangman hit the buckshots, Matt Hardy tagged himself in, ran in like the absolute carny he is, and got the pin, because I'm guessing there's a bonus if you get the pin in AEW. Marvelous finds MJF and Jericho celebrating backstage, walk out the Inner Circle's dressing room with a big old box of bubbly, and they get in, but Sammy's not happy. Jericho says, look, we won. And Sammy goes, did we? Because I think you just won. He goes, nah, look, only one team could win. It's collateral damage, it has to happen. And Sammy goes, well, I know it has to happen, but how come it's always me or these guys? It's never you that's collateral damage, Chris. And he storms out, and Jericho chases after him. At which point MJF sees his opportunity, kicks a cameraman out to talk to the rest of the Inner Circle, probably plotting something schemy and nefarious. We then had the wedding of the century officiated by Father James Mitchell. Absolutely incredible. Vicky Guerrero walked Kip to the ring. Amazing. Jerry Lynn walked Penelope to the ring. And they were giving their vows, and Kip goes, I remember the very first day that your eyes caught my eyes, which caught your breast, or your eyes locked with my eyes, which were locked with your breasts, or something like that. Outrageous. It's really, really funny. And Father James Mitchell says the whole, Kip, do you take Penelope to be your lawfully married wife, to have and to hold through sickness and health, to kayfabe all others? And that's the way he says for both. It was great. And then Miro makes a speech, and he goes, look, I know the bachelor party wasn't the best in the world, and I know that, I don't have a present, but my present is me, Kip. I'm full of knowledge, and we're going to conquer the world. But what's that big present there behind us? And Charles Taylor goes, it's my present. And Miro goes, okay, let me go open it. I've seen enough wrestling wins. And he runs into it, and he just starts kicking it, and he picks up, and he throws it out the ring. And he goes, Charles, go outside and clean that up. So as Charles goes out to clean it up, Miro keeps talking, and then he tries to walk forward to give Kip a hug, and he can't get there because on the outside Charles Taylor has handcuffed Miro's leg to the ring post, or to the rope, like probably the post, because he can't go up a certain amount. He gets back in the ring, punches Kip, who falls into Penelope, who falls into the cake. Then shortly after, Orange Cassidy pops out the cake, and it was mad. It was so good. It was honestly amazing. I'm so happy seeing Father James Mitchell there. And I thought that was going to be the biggest pop for a surprise debut of the night, but it wasn't. If you saw the show, you fucking know what it is. We then cut to the clip of Shaquille O'Neal on Inside the NBA, and it, like Chuck and Kenny and EJ just clowning him, and then he just hits the black tornado on the glass. And he says, they now have a date set officially. It's the 3rd of March on Dynamite. Thankfully not a Revolution. We're getting Red Velvet and Cody versus Jade and Shaq. I'm so excited for it. I'm actually so excited. And I've got a very special video coming for that week. So it's not just going to be me standing here. I'll be speaking to someone about the show. And I'm very excited for it. So keep your eyes out for that. We then had the lumberjack match between Lance Archer and Eddie Kingston, obviously, after they had that amazing match last week. And it was wild. Archer gets thrown off into the ropes, Butch and the Blade trip him, drag him out, start putting the boots to him. All the heels just start putting the boots to Lance Archer. Kingston at one point then goes outside and just jumps the face lumberjacks, like jumps the Hollywood hunk. Just jumps right now, just takes him out, it's class. The bunny gets involved at one point. She jumps on Archer's back, who just grabs her arms and goes for the blackout, gets hit with a back fist off of Eddie. Jake Snake also on the outside, like, I think the heels are running around to get Archer, and Jake Snake just clotheslines Angelico out of his boots. It was amazing. Butch and Blade get in the ring and set up a table in the corner, and Bear Country then get involved because it's all just breaking down, and one of Bear Country spears a Blade through the table. It was so good. Just became a big brawl, and then Eddie Kingston won with a blackout eventually after just a lot of fun and madness, and it was really, really fun. I loved it. I thought it was great. Before the main event, we had one promo spot, and FTR were not in the building because they've been suspended for cutting the horns off Luchasaurus last week. And they say, they're very pissed off about it. They're angry. They weren't in that match at the start of the night, the Battle Royal, like they were meant to be. Sylvan Reynolds took their place. And then they reveal they've just kidnapped Marco Stunt to get their own back. So that was fun. Also, Tully cut like a really good promo in this. Tully was great in this. So yeah, I'm excited to see where that goes, because it's just becoming more big, dumb, fun wrestling, this feud as it goes on. And I love that. We then had the main event, and it was Kenny and the Good Brothers versus Mox, Pac, and Phoenix. Mox and Pac and Phoenix came at Mox's door. Mox had like new trousers, just like black jeans that had like Mox stitched in them. So my guy got custom battle slacks. So I called them tussle trousers, action pants. My boy dripped out in his tussle trousers. Started off with Phoenix and Carl Anderson, a really good back and forth. Then Mox got in there and just started brawling with a big LG. It was amazing. It was really, really good. I don't remember any spots in particular, just remember that it was all absolutely fantastic wrestling. Just big moves all the time. The end was just a big continuous sequence of massive moves. And in the end, at one point, Mox goes for a paradigm shift, but Kenny counters and hits his own paradigm shift, and then Pac hits a 450 onto Kenny to stop the pin, and it was class. It was so good. Pretty sure in the end that it was won with a magic killer on Phoenix. Yeah, it was. And then Mox came in and started brawling with Kenny. It was a big brawl after. And then someone ran in the ring and jumped Moxley, took him out. It was a guy in a hood with a COVID mask on. He takes the hood down. You can see the dyed hair, and he takes his mask off. And it's Kenta. Kenta was in AEW. Kenta from New Japan Pro Wrestling, because he's got a shot at Mox's IWGP US Championship. Which means the Forbidden Door is now open. It's not even open, it's been blown off. Apparently, New Japan obviously wanted Mox, but Tony Khan wasn't willing to send them to Japan because that means possibly missing up to 6 weeks. Because he was taking some time off anyway. Then 2 weeks when he gets there quarantine, and 2 weeks when he gets back quarantine, and I just think Tony Khan wasn't willing to do that, which means fair enough, Moxie's like the biggest draw in AEW after Jericho. So I think they just said, look, if you want him, we're going to be working together. And right now it just seems like all the New Japan strong guys and all the guys who live in America, such as Kenta who lives in Florida, will be crossing over a lot more. So now we've got Impact, New Japan and AEW. Like I said in my video yesterday, the triangle is now complete. The Death Triangle, not the Death Triangle, the Life Triangle, the lovely wrestling triangle. And now Kenta's in AEW, and I think next week he's teaming with Kenny Omega to wrestle Moxley and Lance Archer. So that's going to be fun. It's going to be really fun. Oh yeah, after the bell actually, forgot before that, Archer came out and just ran down Kenny in the Bucks. So, or not Kenny in the Bucks, Kenny and the Good Brothers. So it looks like he's moving into a feud probably for the AEW Championship next, which I'm excited for. And now we've got Kenta in All Elite Wrestling. I'm just thinking about, when there was a tweet that I saw, Team Taz versus LIJ. Yes. Gabriel Kidd. I want to see Gabriel Kidd wrestle everyone in AEW. Chris Bay versus Ricky Starks versus El Desperado, but takes his mask off because he's a hunk under there. And just have three junior heavyweight hunks have a big old tussle. Oh, it's so exciting. It's so exciting. I'm so very excited, as you can tell. I'll probably make another video soon talking more about this. But I'm so excited now the door has been blown wide open. I saw as well a tweet, because obviously they announced that the full bracket, or not the full bracket, but one of the bracket of everyone that's in it, in the big Eliminator tournament. They're having half of it done in America and half of it done in Japan. And I saw a tweet that was on AEW shows last night. They had wrestlers from AEW, Impact, New Japan, GMTV, Choco Pro, Stardom, and Inside the NBA on the show. It's so good. AEW is great. But yeah, that's all for now. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully, I might have a video out this weekend. I'm not sure yet. Probably will have one just talking about all the excitement running through my mind with what happened last night. But yeah, like I say, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.